Hey, guys, we're at the locker room. We'll talk about the injury when Triple H's throat was crushed in 2002. We are talking about when RVD injured Triple H's throat. Now we here, you guys get the likes of us. We come in. Now Triple H, for those you don't know, he's now Paul Levesque. But before then, he was Triple H the Game. He had a very, very illustrious career and great, great big accomplishments. If you guys look below, he did so much in his career. But he had very, very, very few injuries that could have cost him his career, maybe even his life. Now, we're talking about this one happened at the original Elimination Chamber at 2002 Survivor Series pay-per-view event. This is when Triple H and RVD both started off the match in Elimination Chamber when RVD accidentally did a 5-star frog splash that crushed Triple H's throat, which caused Triple H to kick the mat, being upset. Now, we know that there was real-life animosity between Triple H and RVD. But nonetheless, though, Triple H, he is a soldier. He continued on in the match. I got to give that to Triple H. Him getting credit for that. But we know that during the match here, that it was such a possibility that Triple H may not walked out at all. But the thing about it is, RVD felt uncomfortable doing the 5-star frog splash. Not only he felt comfortable, he landed awkwardly. He knew he did. And RVD did an interview where he talks about this. Jim Ross talks about it. And then we're going to have a doctor that talks about it as well. But this was so profound that the first match started off like this, the first ever Elimination Chamber. And I know that this match here, this injury don't get talked about much. We talk about the quad injuries with Triple H and his most recent heart condition. We never talk about when his throat was injured, his larynx, that could have took him out for good. Triple H even said that this was probably the one injury that he thought could have cost him his life before the heart condition. But I remember Triple H was taken out. He was off TV a couple weeks. And when he was off a couple weeks, he lost the title to Shawn Michaels. But I'm glad Triple H pulled it out because a lot of people would have stopped right there on the spot. But he continued on the match. He fought RVD. He went through the whole Elimination Chamber match all the way to him and Shawn Michaels at the end. So I know RVD, he was very uncomfortable about it. He talks about it and everything.
Oh, no.
You're not Spider-Man. He's in another time zone up there.
I mean, time zones don't change by height, but that's more like weather, maybe.
There wasn't enough space for RVD to fully stand up, though, so Mr. Monday Night had to crouch. Due to the awkward position, Rob Van Dam's knee accidentally landed on Triple H's throat. The blow caused Triple H to swell, which began blocking his airway.
Oh, no, that's so dangerous.
Unable to breathe. Thanks to having a thick neck and just plain luck, the King of Kings not only survived, but finished the match.
There's cartilaginous C-rings that go around the trachea, which is the windpipe, and you could actually break those, leading to tremendous swelling. If the swelling gets so bad it blocks off the airway, you could need to make an incision in the neck for that person to be able to breathe.
All right, so you and Triple H started the match against each other. Later in the match, you went to the top of a pod and did the frog splash, but you didn't have enough room to jump high, and you came down and crushed Triple H's larynx. What are your memories? Now, I remember, so before we started recording here, I did read an article about how you said, like, you felt really, really bad about all that stuff happening, and but like, and then Triple H even commented too. He was saying that he could see visually how, like, you didn't have the room, and like it was kind of like a little. He could sense that it was not going to execute very well from his perspective too. So, do you have any added memories of that, or anything that you want to add to that?
Yeah. The idea was presented to me. It wasn't mine, but I thought, no problem. That sounds cool. Should be no problem. But when I was up there, I was way uncomfortable. It wasn't like I was up there like, oh, I got this, and then just misjudged. I was up there, and I was like, okay, first off, I don't know how much spring to put into it because there's no bounce on the cage on what I'm jumping off of. And I couldn't stand straight up. I'm bent over because the ceiling, and so that fucked me up too. Yeah. And so I'm like, I don't know if I should just like drop down or if I should like jump out. And if I do jump out, am I gonna arch and then land actually with a little distance because I'm up higher? So I remember being up there and I felt like, wow, this is like do or die. Like I'm committed. I didn't feel comfortable, but when I jumped, I thought I was, obviously I wouldn't have jumped unless I thought like, I think I got this. I feel like I'm gonna make the best of it, and I guess I should have just dropped straight down, and I gave a little bit of a jump out. So when I came down, my shin went across his throat, and I didn't know right away that it was hurt. I don't remember exactly when I knew, but I think it crushed his larynx, so it's pretty bad.
Yeah, and I remember too afterwards, like, obviously you finished the match and all that stuff, but geez, that's got to be tough to kind of
old school
kind of stuff.
Old school mentality. Finished the match, and then I heard he took an ambulance ride later, and I was
most notable maybe for two things: Rob Van Dam's frog splash being one of them. Of course, we saw Shawn Michaels debut the doo-doo brown tights that everybody was talking about, but the frog splash onto Hunter, where he inadvertently lands directly on Hunter's throat. This is a really scary situation for Hunter.
Yeah.
He manages to gut through it, but this is a little more serious than busting a guy's nose. Clearly, it's an accident. I don't think there's any chance that Rob intentionally hurt
Of course
Hunter.
not. God, no. But some will think that, Conrad,
Yes.
because it makes good dirt.
Well, the dirt became, hey, he's going to be de-pushed now because he hurt Hunter. So that's where they're drawing the line. And I would want to argue that, but instead of continuing the singles push, where he was just headlining in singles pay-per-views for the world title, now we're going to put him together with Kane as a tag. So we're keeping him on the show, but not nearly the same presentation. Do you think that accidentally hurting Hunter hurt his momentum here?
It might have. Accidentally, it might have. But I don't. Look, Hunter didn't go crazy on it. It showed you, too, that, and we can't overlook this, Triple H continued the match.
Yes, he did.
And so that tells me his dedication and his fucking toughness was very prominent. And sometimes I don't think Triple H gets the credit for being as tough as he was, overcoming. He's been injured, significant injuries to quad and all these things. But so, I have a lot of respect for Triple H in that respect, to be honest with you. But RVD was, that was an accident. And when you ask a guy to be physical and you ask a guy to use his weaponry, which frog splash is one of those assault weapons, you kind of got to evaluate the risk-reward situation. And because we put the pressure on RVD to roll with his game. And look, if Triple H had not wanted to do have a frog splash executed on him, then it wouldn't have happened.
Right.
So he felt comfortable enough to have it done. He knew it was going to be a sensational spot, but who in the hell would have thought that just a few inches here or there would cause so much consternation?
Yeah.
But it did, and it should have, and it did.